Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest bassist, player of all time, Charlie Hustle. Can you imagine today's ball players playing like this guy?
Yeah.
Mr. Pete Rose.
Thank you. It's a great day out there.
Yeah.
If you're a duck. Where am I? Washington. Okay.
Yay.
I spent a week here one night. His dad was the nicest guy in the world, but he was a big gambler. And I know I'm not supposed to talk about gambling.
We didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anything? Well, you must be deaf. and he was telling me one time that I'm just a kid back in 1951 or 52, and he's telling me about he had a dream about white hats and black hats and round hats and square hats, and he went to work. He owned a produce company, and the next day a guy brought him in a new Cincinnati red hat, and as he did every day, he ate lunch and he went 10 miles east to River Downs Racetrack, and they opened up the program, and the first race, number 1, was Top Hat. So here he's dreaming about hats. A guy needed a new hat. Number 1 is Top Hat. So he bet $1,000 to win on Top Hat. And they're coming around 2 turns. They're coming down the home stretch. The last jump, a 50 to 1 shot beat Top Hat. And I said, Doug, who won the race? And he said, Sombrero. So the moral of that story is if he'd have been Spanish, he'd have won $50,000.
Yeah.
Manny Sandian's catching. You know, Manny was really a good catcher, really a good guy, but he was the ugliest in the world. And he used to tell me, he said, Pete, I have a problem. I said, Manny, what's your problem? He says, I have 9 kids. I said, what's the problem? He says, I have 1 daughter. I said, what's the problem? He said, she look like me. I said, what's the problem? He said, she gonna be old May. Frazier's having a great year over at Cincinnati. He's on a pace to get 102 extra base hits. The all-time record for the Reds by Frank Robinson was 92. So if he keeps hitting them home runs and doubles like he has been up to now, he's gonna shatter some records over there. But don't worry about it, he ain't never gonna shatter my record. If he gets close, I'll have his legs broke. Now, does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask me at this time? Yes, sir, go ahead.
It's not a question, I just have to tell
Well,
you.
then sit down if it's not a question.
You were in Boston for WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and you said, I left 2 tickets at the gate for Bill Buckner.
You couldn't bend over to pick them up, yeah. I wrote those lines, that's pretty good. The Undertaker and Steve Austin, I mean, all those guys are just really nice guys. And all they worry about back in the back is injuries. You know, the injuries. Are you okay? If you ever notice, if you watch wrestling, the referee has always got an earplug in his ear. Because the guy sitting back there running the show will tell him when to terminate the match.
Huh.
That's how they do that. So next time you see the referee with an ear thing, now you know why he's got it. I don't think I'm putting anything out of the bag here. We were playing a game over in Fort Lauderdale. We trained in Tampa, which is a 4-hour bus ride. And my day was complete. All I had to do was go out and do my running, go ahead and take a shower, and wait for the bus. And Mike Reba, a coach on the team, he said, where are you going, kid? You have to wait for the bus anyway. Sit around, you might get in a ball game. So I did. And all of a sudden they needed a pinch runner in the 9th inning. And I pinched run, and I went from first to third and did a head first slide on a ball with one step to the left fielder. And I was safe. And the next guy hit a short pop-up to Tony Kubek, backpedaled, and caught it. And nobody backpedaling at shortstop is going to throw me out at home. And I did another head first slide, and we won the game 2-1. And then Mickey Mantle was sitting in there talking to Whitey Ford, and he said, did you see that Charlie Hustle beat us today?
Wow.
And the next day in the paper, it said Charlie Hustle beats Yanks.
So,
I almost went to the Pirates, to be honest with you.
that's what we
Yeah,
heard.
In those days, Mr. Galbraith, John Galbraith, was the owner of the team. And as you know, he owned racehorses, okay? And he had a horse at that time called Roberto, who was named after Roberto Clemente. And let me tell you something. If he'd have promised me a Kentucky Derby winner, With balls that big, I'd have been a pirate. Believe me, I'd have been a different pirate. Any Cub fans in the audience? Great. Why would anybody be a Cub fan?
I don't know.
You know what God told the Cubs? Don't do a damn thing till I get back. And listen, you're right. Yeah, they listen. They paid attention to that one. Bobby used to always sit and talk to everybody about hitting. Clemente, I called him Bobby. And Bobby, how you feel tonight? And he'd say, Petey. He'd say, every bone in my body hurt. He'd go 4 for 5. Okay?
Right.
Now, the next day he'd come out and say, Bobby, how you feel? He said, man, I feel great. He'd go 0 for 4. So we would just pray when we asked Bobby how he felt great.
Yeah, right.
Clemente used to hit balls at me when I played second base at Forbes Field, harder than Stargell did. And he was a right-hand hitter. You know, I remember Doc Ellis. You know, Doc Ellis, we're playing one time at Three Rivers, and I'm bleeding off. He hits me. Griffey's next. He hit Griffey. And Morgan's over 11 and said, he got one white one and one black one. Next pitch he hit Morgan. Okay? Then the next pitch he hit Bench. It's true. He hit 4 straight. Then he threw 4 times at Perez and missed him all 4 times. And they took him out of the game. Well, I didn't start spiking the baseball until I went to Philadelphia, because that's when I went to first base. It's hard to spike it when you're in left field. And it don't make no sense. You don't get to end the inning very often at third base. If I could hit a pitcher, I'd never say anything to him. But if I couldn't hit a pitcher, you know, I'd go by and say, does your husband throw? You know, you get him mad at you. What's going to happen if he gets mad at you? He's going to hit you next time up. Okay? I can't hit him, so he hit me, and I'm on first base. So all you're trying to do is get on first base. That's how stupid pitchers are. I'm playing center field that day, and I'm running out to my position, and I know there's nobody else out there, and I look back, and this chick, boom, boom, boom. And I had to stop because the wall was there. Okay? And I said, ma'am, I called her ma'am. She said, I said, you're going to get in trouble. She said, I sure in hell hope so. That was right at that 390 mark where, you know, at Crosley Field, and there used to be a train track right there. And one time Ted Kozuski hit a monumental home run, went over the fence, went in the train car, and the ball ended up in Louisville. It's the longest home run ever made. I met Tony Perez in 1960. I was 2 days out of high school, and he was 3 months out of Cuba. He just escaped Cuba in 1960, okay? 55 years ago. I talked to him 2 days ago on the phone for a half hour, and no idea what he said. That's how I still can't speak English.